Yo, what's poppin'? You checking out Cheddar DVD magazine, you know what I'm saying? This is yours truly, Guru. I brought my partner with me.
Super producer STARR, repping 7 Grand, New York, and all that, dogs.
That's right, baby.
So what's going on with the label?
7 Grand Records is the label, the movement. We released our first album, our first release the end of last year. It's called Guru version 7.0, the Street Scriptures, 19 banging joints, produced by my partner here. And just had great success with it. Been touring worldwide with it. Went to number 11 on the top 20 countdown. Our last single on Hot 97 in New York. We did over 100 spins with the last single.
Big up the Hot 97,
yeah.
but big up to all the hip-hop, independent hip-hop underground
That's right.
stations too.
Did over 100 spins nationally, you know, so we're making it happen. You know, taking it city to city, bringing it directly to the people. That's how we do it.
Of the world, not to mention, you know,
That's right.
world level success, man. 7 Grand Records is a global movement, you know what I mean? And of course, everybody knows that the God good on the globe, you know what I mean? Now, super producer STARR in the mix, 7 Grand Records in the mix, doing really lovely things, man, for hip hop, man. When it's all said and done, it's going to be about the culture with 7 Grand. It's going to be about the music. It's going to be about the fans. It's not about, you know.
I definitely got really frustrated and, you know, tired of the major label influences on my creativity. You know, these A&R cats and executives, the so-called, you know,
psychopaths, nutcases, weirdos, degenerates. Yeah, we got tired of them.
Want to front like they know the music. They want to, you know, try to tell you what to do with your music and your creativity. And I got really disgusted with that, and I was expressing that to the God during the last.
Not to mention, God, ain't they just a bunch of greedy cocksuckers,
yeah,
man?
they're greedy. Hell
some
yeah.
greedy money grabbing motherfuckers, yo, for real.
You know, so we decided
Dirty
to start
bastards.
our own label. That's how we did it. You know, I was telling the God about, you know, all the things that were bugging me, and you know, he was like, "Why don't you start your own label? You an icon. You could do it. You know, this guy did it. That guy did it." I'm like, I thought about it. I called him back. This was about 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, about 3 years ago, we got it popping like that. Yeah, no doubt.
So, you know, the rest is history. We've got Jasmine Taz Volume 4 coming up next, you know, and everything from Guru is going to be coming through 7 Grand. You can check us out at www.guru7grand.com.
What's that movie with your boy?
With, I know, something,
Something's Gotta Give.
Something's Gotta Give.
No offense to my boy Jack Nicholson, he's a brilliant actor, but I think that movie is really not that far from reality,
he
man.
He's the owner of a hip-hop label, of a huge hip-hop label.
He's like, what, 90, 100 years old? You know what I mean?
No, he's about 70, 65 in the movie.
Living large, living lavish, you know? off the royalties that he's reaped from hip-hop.
I watched that movie and I always wondered, like, how the artists living. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? And I'm going to say this. I ain't going to mention no names and places, but a lot of these dudes call themselves thugs and real street niggas. That's who's collecting their royalties. So I'm just going to say like this. I ain't here to throw no stones at nobody. 7 Grand Records, man. We here to just do things properly.
There's a lot of smoke and mirrors in this.
For those who watching, those who really paying attention to what's going on, keep a look at the God in me. You're going to see the new move, the real boom, boom. It's going to be real fast, but it ain't going to be no trick knowledge. Come see us, yo.
It feels good for me not to have, you know, all of that going on with my career. Now it's like all my creativity is in my own hands. And that would be my advice to anybody out there that wants to get in this game. You know, do you, be an entrepreneur. You know, network, get it out there yourself. Use the internet. The internet is definitely, you know, big important right now. We got the hotline going right now. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Peace, Doo-Wop. This is DJ Doo-Wop. He's on his way down here.
We about to rock, baby.
Yeah, we're in the Gasoline nightclub
Norfolk.
right here. Where we at? South Norwalk, Connecticut. We're gonna rip it down tonight. Peace, Wop. You on your way? The state of hip hop's in different places. Some of it good, some of it bad. I'd say, you know, the bad stuff, we already really talked about that. You know, a lot of cats still fronting. A lot of people, you know, there's a lot of only one style of music being put out there. And I think that more money needs to be spent on balancing that out at radio and so forth, and also in the video medias. There's a lot of crazy politics with that you know, I don't even like dealing with. That's why 7 Grand, we work around a lot of that stuff because a lot of it is fugazi. But what's good is that the independents are back.
But that's interesting. At the
the entrepreneurs
same time,
are being made.
You know what? That's a good point. You know what I mean? Let's build on that, God. Because in a way, they are fugazi, but our record hit like almost number 10 on Hot 97, top 20. You know what I mean? And neither you nor I expected that. Matter of fact, we pretty much didn't even include that in our business plan.
It took a lot of push.
We assumed that wasn't going to happen.
It took
So
a huge push.
really, that's a thought for those that are coming up. Where really, can you make it being real? Coming with something original? Because you check the singles called Hood Dreamin'. That's some New York original production right there. That's me and the God putting down something fresh and clean. We ain't using the same old, the same old, the same old. We coming with it New York style, hot and clean from the streets, you know what I mean? But I'm saying the point that the guy is making is valid. So if you coming up in the game, think you want to be a clone and follow the clones and think you can't make it, because you could use that as a sign of saying that the industry will accept something new if you're going to present it and rep it properly.
As far as the hip hop police go, yeah, I've been in that book for a while, but
Yeah, God, man, that shit was shocking, God. I opened that shit, man, they had you right in there. It's like a dossier.
Fortunately, they
terrorist,
didn't have my
nigga? What you
flick
doing? You
though.
gonna blow some
They
shit
said
up?
for
What
some
you
reason they had my government and all that, but they didn't have a flick.
Look, man, let's get real. We're not children here. We
Serious.
full-grown people.
No.
All right? You're gonna advocate violence. You're gonna advocate selling drugs. You're gonna advocate rape. You're gonna advocate all forms of dislawful behavior. I'm born out of that behavior. Don't get me wrong. So they might probably start the page on me right now. But I'm saying, how are we gonna criticize?
Yeah.
All right? How the fuck you gonna criticize if every day that's all you
We
doing
try-
is bragging about it, making records about
That's
it?
right.
Motherfucking right you gonna be in there. So we're not even gonna stoop to that level of stupidity.
Yes.
As far as the police having a history of treating black people and so-called Latino people wrong, fucking right. But we as a people gotta learn when it's that time to put an end to that nonsense. And the way to put an end to it is step up properly, or elect some individuals within your culture to step up properly, and then we'll talk. But, you know, all this crying about who's watching who, man, stop running your mouth and people stop watching you, man.
That's right. That's right.
So do they belong here? In the
I
hip-hop
mean,
world?
Fuck no.
They
Hell
don't
no.
belong. Fucks no. But like the guy was saying, we've gotta police ourselves. We've gotta present.
Not even on the corny church
exactly.
shit.
No.
Know what I mean?
If this is our culture and we want to preserve it, then we gotta respect it. Because we can't be out here just wilding out and expect that they're not gonna
Listen,
put a
fam,
big eye on us.